guys, TinaGale here, and I am back with load challenge number 2, and I am having so much fun. If you have not checked this out, check it out. I have heard so much about it for years, and I've wanted to do it, and I always talk myself out of it. I have a really hard time journaling, and I thought I've tried prompts, I've tried different things, and I still struggle. So it may be working for others, but they probably just are better at journaling than I am. But I have to tell you, day 1 had me excited. Day 2 has me excited. I have so many ideas for each one of them that I'm just keeping a little notebook so I can go back and do the other pages that I think about. So today's prompt was, have you ever tried to prevent something from happening or something that you have resisted? So immediately I thought about our new little doggie. And if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I'm sure you have seen her because she has been blowing up my feed because she's just too adorable and she is a stinker. So immediately I started thinking about pictures that I had of her. She loves to cuddle. She is always has to be really near us, but she just fights sleep. So I have pictures of everybody holding her where she's just trying to play and she's trying to stay awake and then she drifts off. And I also have one of her recently. She's a little runaway, so if she gets out our front door, she has free reign, and she got away from me one day, and I couldn't find her for a long time, and then I did, and had to give her a bath, and then she kind of hid from me, so I had a story about that. I was trying to prevent her from getting loose, and she got away from me, so that was another story. But then as I watched the video of Alice and the prompts, she mentioned resisting getting a pet. And bells just went off in my head because I have these photos here of my husband, which I joked, and I would have scrapped these probably fairly soon. But this was all about, he stole my dog. I wanted the dog, and she was attached to me, but now she's attached to him more so than she is me. So that would have been what I had told. But now it's going to become the story of, this is the man that fought me and resisted for so long about getting another dog. And now he's more attached to the dog than you could ever imagine. He's more attached to this dog than any other dog we've ever had. Even he's ever had. And he had dogs growing up, but he is so attached to this dog. So I am going to tell the story of him resisting getting another dog. So I pulled out, this was one other thing I found out. I went to my papers trying to find something, pet related, dog paper. I don't have any. This was the only paper I had, which is really sad. This is a really old sheet of paper. Karen Foster, 2004. So that's 16 years old. And it's thin, but that's the only dog paper I had. I didn't really have embellishments or anything. Which I kind of knew going in, but I thought I would find more than that. So I definitely need to go shopping for dog collections. So I went through some of my scrap room kits that I hadn't used, and this is Fancy Pants Good Old Days. And I thought the colors were perfect. So these are the sides that I have picked out. I'll show you the back. So it's florals, and I may get that ruler in too, because that's significant for my husband because he's in construction. So I've picked out that paper that I might try to use, those 3. The embellishments from that collection, I have a couple of pieces here. I won't use the purple, but I thought maybe banners. Got the red and the little floral. One of the other things that we could use on techniques was using a postage symbol, and I couldn't believe it, but in the ephemera pack there was this little stamp, so I'm going to get that on the page. We have this little border, and even though I'm not doing green, I kind of like it, so I pulled it out. I have family tradition because it is our tradition always to get rescue dogs or, dogs that nobody wants. And this says, let's make some happy memories. I have this. And then I have this cork pack that came with it. And these little here says, life is sweet. And this one that says, I pick you. So I thought that was perfect to go with my story. There's also little red heart cork and stuff. So I'm going to use primarily that collection. But of course, I can't stop there. But during the week, I'm going to have to because I don't have time to sit and play and pull out every little thing like I normally do. But I found these brads, and it says lucky, which I already pulled that out because I think we're extremely lucky. And she's lucky to have found us. And then couple of more maybe. I have a tag. I want to use that maybe for the journaling. Tuck up behind it. I have this from Basic Greats typeset. It says "You Are Loved," and it matches with the blue, so I thought that would be perfect. This, I don't know if I'll use or not, but I saw it and I need to use it because I've had it for quite a while. But there's little speech bubbles, so I might get something in there. And Amy Tan's stickers here. I liked the craft, but there's also this alphabet. So I needed to decide on a title, but I thought that might work. This has the craft and the white. So, and it would show up on the dark if I put it on the dark or the red. So that's what I've pulled, and I am going to start scrapping, and I've got to get quicker. I spent way too long yesterday on that layout, but it meant so much to me, and I had a blast. But I won't be able to do that during the week when I work, so I have got to learn to speed it up. Okay, I also pulled out this wood grain. Well, actually, this is part of the good old days, because I do love it, but man, I hate to waste that. So I have a piece of cardstock as well. So we'll see what I do on the background. Also, I don't think I'm going to be able to cut this down because they didn't give me a lot of room. I'd be cutting off text. So I think I'm just going to back it with some paper just so that it's heavier. So I am off to try to figure out, I did a band design yesterday, and I'm thinking I may do the same thing because each picture is just a progression and it will tell the story. So I think that's what I'm going to do with just some borders of this other paper. So let's get going. So the first thing you may notice is I completely changed my mind, and that dog paper that I had, I decided not to use it as a whole background. Since that was the only dog product that I had, I wanted to save it, and there's lots of little different pieces that I could put on a layout and really stretch that paper. So I just took the top, which is the title of the newspaper, cut it off as a border that I'm going to use. And I did decide to go ahead and just do the band design. So I put all of the 4 photos together. I butted them up and matted it on that blue checked paper. And then I'm going to put the dark blue paper behind that and then just build up some layers. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm using lots of different collections is to ink the edges. Plus, since this is going on wood grain, it's about a dog. I just felt like the brown distressing just worked with it. So I went ahead and matted those photos, and then I just stuck adhesive along the top and laid it on that border so that I could get it straight. I find that if I put the strip of photos on and then try to tuck the big border strip, I end up fighting it for a lot longer. I also left a little gap. I didn't put adhesive at the top there because I knew I wanted to put that tag in behind there, so I just created a pocket. So you have to think about that ahead of time. Also, I have to apologize for the little spot in the bottom left corner. I tried to zoom in the film just a little bit to get rid of some of it. I'm trying a new little light and it clips on, and I did not realize that it was covering up part of the lens. So I apologize. I started not to even do this video, and then I thought, well, I will. If it bothers you, turn it off. Don't watch the rest of the movie. So now I'm just going to start on the embellishing. Well, let me back up. I did go ahead and use a strip of that ruler paper because, again, my husband's in construction, so it kind of works with him, and I just liked it. So now I'm going to figure out where all the embellishments are going to go. I had this little sticker. This was on the Amy Tan's sheet that says "The time is now." So, again, this layout, everything points to the story because we had said we were not going to get another dog, and then I started wanting one, and so the time was now. I needed a dog. I want to come home from work. I want to have somebody to greet me at the door and wag its little tail and to sit and to pet and just relax. Then the I Pick You was the little cork piece that went with the Good Old Days collection, and of course I already spoke about that. And then this little postage stamp was part of the technique prompt, but it just works to help build up that cluster. And that little flare that says "You Are Loved." And then the only other dog product I had was I bought the sticker sheet for the Muttcracker collection, which is a Christmas collection. So I had pulled it out to see if there was anything I could find, and I found this little dog bone with the red bow. So the red was perfect. It just gave me another little pop of color, and then I have another little embellishment that's about a dog. So yeah, you're seeing all of my dog product there. I'm seriously in sad shape. I need to find some dog product. So at the bottom, I had another little sticker that was from the Amy Tan, and that craft says, "Let's make some happy memories." And then that little circle. And so I'm going to put this brad right in the center of that circle. Those were from the Cosmo Cricket collection. So I'm so happy I actually got both those brads on here. So I only have one left from that collection. But that little mustache was perfect because little schnauzers have their little mustache and their little beard. So you know, we get a lot of those mustaches. Well, there's not as much now, but man, there for a while they were in every collection. And, you know, how many mustaches do you need and when are you going to use them? Well, this was a perfect time. I did go ahead and put the little banners down underneath the photos just for, again, for another pop of color, building up that little cluster embellishment. So I have the large embellishment up at the top and then a smaller one at the bottom left of the photos, and then I'm just going to put just a little bit at the bottom of the page. So there's my little visual triangle, and you'll see at the bottom there I did get that family traditions in and that little brad that says lucky and the heart. And then there was also, I don't know if it's on there yet, but there was also a little paw print on that Muttcracker sticker sheet that was outlined in red. So I put it down at the bottom too, just to add another little piece of the red and another little dog embellishment. For the title, I did use those craft and white alphabet stickers from the Amy Tan sticker sheet, and then just mixed in some red and some black puffy ones just to give some different fonts and some different colors down there. And then I'm going to add just a few more embellishments that I had picked out. Those little craft pieces, I went ahead and stuck the one with heart over to the left, and then I put the other one up on the photo that says "Life is Sweet," just to finish that out. I had another little bone sticker here that had a blue bow, and since I was using blue, I decided to try to use it, but it was a different blue, and I ended up scrapping it. It just didn't work. And then I start deciding I want to put something on the background. So I couldn't quite decide if I wanted to go, you know, with a red, if I want to do blue. But in the end, the blue wins out, so I just cut down the wood grained paper. Even though I know it's completely done, I still have the space to kind of trim it. So I do trim it down a little bit and mat it on that dark blue cardstock, and that really just finishes it off and makes it pop. So I really love how this layout turned out. Loving the prompts. It's helping with my title work because I really struggle with titles. But having those little techniques and prompts is really helping me. And of course, you can see all of the journaling there. I have quite a bit to say about this. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're enjoying Load. Be sure to check out my layout share. I'm not going to be able to do process videos for all the layouts because I'm doing them so quick. But definitely check out the share, and if you have any questions about any of them, let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. I do try to explain during the share some of the things that I've done. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you really soon. Bye-bye.